2.
Hey everyone, it's Mike Andes here, Landscape Business Course, and today is just a quick video out in the shop. Lee's shooting the video because Josh is not here, and Caleb put together all of this wonderful stuff, and I figured we should present some of his work for you. So this is our track loader. I've shown this in the past. We got this used from a Star Rentals, and got it with about 800 hours on it. We paid $9,000, and then we painted it all for about $1,500. So it looked nice because it was all beat up before, so it looks somewhat cool. It uses our colors. We put new tracks on it recently, but this is what I really want to show, and that is our salt setup. So we have 2 salting and plowing trucks. We don't do a whole lot. We don't try to advertise plowing necessarily. It's just a lot of headache to do scheduling in the office and administrative side of things. But we do the border patrols because we up against the Canadian border. So the border patrol headquarters throughout the county, those are our main clients, and that's really what we focus on. And then really just trying to keep the guys busy when there's snow sitting on the ground for like 3 weeks solid, which rarely happens in our market, but when it does, this is able to kind of keep them busy doing the salt. So I wanted to show you this new one that we just got set up. We bought this last year, but we just installed it now, and there's a few upgrades that we really like about the Salt Dog, this new one. So this one does have a vibrator in it, an agitator, which is great if you have bags of salt sitting over the whole year, and there might be chunks of salt that are needing to be broken up, and you don't have to worry about needing a second person in the back of your bed, chopping up the salt or making sure it's spreading evenly. I have done salting in the past years ago, and I remember the worst thing was like you thinking you finished half a parking lot, you coming back around like nothing's on the ground because it was caught at the bottom before it actually hits the spreader. So this is the new. This one is a new one. It's a little bit larger than the one we used to have before. I think, don't quote me on this, I think this is the 800-pound model. So you get 800 pounds of salt. What's cool about it is it has 3 points of contact in terms of the hitch, and then on both sides it has a connector for the bolts to be able to quickly adapt to the size, but also lock in from the top. So that way it's not just from the hitch only, it is actually having support from the top. Really, really like that. Also, what's cool about this one is it has this, the cover at the top is actually connected. Our the older version of these, you actually just had straps that you put on the side and connect. Problem is they're rubber. If they broke off, guys, it's hard with gloves to like get those on sometimes in the middle of a bunch of snow. So this is great, really simple. And what's cool, they thought this through, and that is it opens from the back, which means if people are in the back of the truck, if they're in the bed of the truck, they can just dump salt right into the back from bags or from buckets or whatever you have, which is really, really cool in terms of not worrying about this thing flying off because it actually has a hinge, and also the fact that it opens up from the back. So it does have an agitator, and that is controlled from the bed of the truck. So this is P7. This is our one of 2 diesel trucks that we do have. Both of our diesel trucks we use for the salting, for the plowing, as well as during the year we use it for kind of hauling around bigger pieces of equipment like the track loader. Got brand new tires on this bad boy just right now. Just again, end of the year, trying to spend some money on just for tax reasons. So $1,600, not so bad for a full-size pickup truck. And I don't know how many miles are on this one. Do you know, 50,000?
Something like that.
So pretty good deal. It'll definitely last probably the lifetime that we continue to use the truck. So inside of here, they're still setting this up, but this is the controller for the plow, which I'll show you in a second. It's also from Meyer's. I'll show you the front, what this looks like, the V-nose. And then I'll get this is the, I don't know if you can see this, Lee, but around here, this is what we've mounted here for the salt controller. So if I power this on, all right, what's really cool about this controller is if there is ever a problem, it has a pretty good diagnosis right there, and with your manual you can see if there is a certain issue, and it'll give you a number or a digit if it's like a certain type of wire or if something's blocking the salter or something like that. So on here you can do vibration, which I'm going to push that and you can hear it. It's pretty loud actually from the back. So that's in the back. Let me turn that off, but go ahead and power that down. We just run it straight out the window basically, and then wrap it through the bed of the truck with the wiring. Show you up front here. This is our second plow. Our first one was a straight one. It's from Western, and we got that up in Canada. This one we also got up in Canada last year, only because we don't have any dealers within a couple hours south of us in the US. So we go across the board. It's a bit of a pain to pick it up, but with the exchange, it kind of makes it worth it. So This is the Meyer Super V3. There's a larger version of this, but this was really all we really needed, and we wanted to invest in something that did have the ability to scoop and actually put the V-nose and push in a single lane. What's hard about having the one blade that just goes one direction is when you are trying to go into a one lane or like behind like an alleyway of a, say, a apartment complex, it's very difficult to like, if you can't push your snow to one direction, like you have a curb or people's entrances to their house, or worse yet, you're in a parking lot, cars are on both sides, and like it's very difficult to like choose which direction you're going to do the snow, right? And trying to scoop it or get it in a certain direction, especially when there's a lot of it. So this is really cool because it's easier to scoop, really push in a spot and pile things up. And then obviously both sides it can move, has the really cool lights. And don't quote me on this, but I believe this was about 7,500. And this is the smaller version. There's one that's I think it's the V4 or something like that. It's another foot wider, but this is all we need it for. We do not do a lot of snow plowing, maybe 2 times a year if we're lucky in terms of snow here. And our biggest thing is the salting, so that way when the snow is sitting around, if it sits around for 2 or 3 weeks, the guys have something to do. We can go out and do salting of the commercial properties that we have. So hopefully that was educational. I know it's not, I don't do a lot of equipment videos, but hopefully that was something that you might look at. Some of the things that we really like is the V-nose, as well as having the agitator in the salter. This is definitely our biggest setup in terms of having the salter and the plow on the same truck is kind of nice. In the past, we've done separate salt trucks from the plow trucks, just because we have some properties that don't need the plowing, but they want the salting. But this is kind of a cool setup where it has everything on it. This could be a 2-man operation, someone in the back putting salt out, and then also marking things while they are plowing. In our market, we don't plow like 40 times in a year like they do up north. So it's definitely going to be something for our guys. We like to have 2 guys in our truck, so that one guy can kind of be watching for obstacles, vehicles, curbs, as well as watching the salter in the back, and the other operator inside the truck can just really focus on the plowing. So hopefully that was helpful. Have a great day. Take care.